Hey guys, it's Crystal Briefs, and in this video I'm discussing the role of cav in 992. I think some of you may have wondered why we don't just do 550 altogether instead of putting a little bit of cav as in 992. There's some arguments that the cav in 992 act as a buffer against inf blast or inf failings, but if you've ever got inf blasted in Wonder Rallies, you might have noticed that cav count even in 442, which is supposed to be 800k of cav, is not enough to stop an inf blast or inf failings. That's why people have been using 442 variants with more cav to better deal with inf heavy comps. So what's the use of 992 to begin with? Due to the nature of this comp, it almost always requires carpeting, so it's used a lot in Emperor and Baron Wonders. And their intended prey comp is any 424 variant in ranged phalanx, since a lot of rally leads tend to sit in ranged phalanx when they have no idea what the opponents are going to send. 992 is expected to induce the 442 winning against 424 mechanism that I referred to a few videos ago. But the question is, why not use 550 instead? If 992 is better than 442 at inducing the 442 winning mechanism, wouldn't 550 be even better? Is there a reason that 550 is not used as often as 992? And actually there is a major reason for this. The cav in 992 serves as a protection for its inf after the 442 winning mechanism is induced. Let me show you the report first. My testing partner Aquino, as you've probably seen a couple of times in previous videos, did a 992 on my 424 ranged phalanx. The 992's heroes and familiar comps were like this, and my 424 was like this. Actually, let me acknowledge his contribution to my videos first. Last time Aquino and I did testing for about 6 hours on and on. No one would do that but him. I can't thank him enough for that. About 20% of that was for YouTube, and the rest was my pursuit in mechanisms in Wonder Rallies yet to be discovered by the internet. Well, I don't mean to tease you, but I can't emphasize enough how Wonder Rallies are profound in battle dynamics. Anyways, he did 992 on my 424 ranged foul, and as expected, the 992 won by a lot with the mechanism I mentioned in a previous video, link in the description. If you look at the damage breakdown, a bit over half the range survived, which is a hallmark for the 442 winning mechanism. And I want you to look at the cav damage in 992. Cav is receiving some damage. Where does this damage come from? It's clearly not from Pact 5 familiars, but it's from cav and inf of the 424 side. So after the 424 ranged are completely destroyed, the leftover inf and cav targets the cav in 992. Since inf and cav can't do much damage on cav, the 992's cav persevere and stop the 424's inf cav from harming 992's inf. And that's why the casualties on 992 is effectively reduced. This happens with any 442 variants winning against 424 ranged phalanx. I don't have clear answers as to why the retargeting sequence is determined this way yet, but one of my wonderful viewers made me aware of a totally new insight in the comments, so I'm gonna pursue that. And as a reference, let me show you the battle movie. I'll double the speed, and if you want to watch more closely, you can slow it down on YouTube. Next is the report for 550, and the result is kind of expected. 550 led to more casualties on my 424, but also sustained significantly more damage than the example with 992. If you take a look at the breakdown, 550 took quite a lot of damage on inf, and that's with the cav buffer. So 550 without a cav buffer will inevitably receive even more damage. Actually, that inf damage includes Pact 5 damage, so the inf loss might not be too serious here. But remember, in Wonder Rallies, there are additional stats like Wonder Sigils and debuffs, which is not reflected in camp testing. So both of our casualties are expected to increase. So that's kind of not good for fillers. In Emperor and Baron Wonders, and sometimes Chalice, most people want to get as much kills for points as possible without losses. They want to be efficient. 550 can get you more points, but 992 can reduce losses and still get reasonable number of kills at the same time. I think that's the main reason for using 992 over 550. I believe 550 is actually used sometimes, but maybe not as popular as 992. Also, when 992 encounters an inf-heavy comp, the cav in 992 can be an insurance for more acceptable results compared to 550 being countered by inf. Moreover, if you look at the cav buffer in 550 report, only 2 out of 4 buffer troops are consumed, and 2 cav buffer troops survived throughout. Let's have a look at the movie. This suggests that only 2 cav squads act as the protection of inf. That means if the cav is too thin, like in 10-9-1 comp, the 424 inf and cav may penetrate the 10-9-1's cav and start doing damage on the inf. So it's possible that the cav in 992 is the minimum thickness in order to serve as an effective inf protection. This is not tested, it's just a hypothesis made from the 550 example report. I believe some rally leads do use comp close to 550, and let me know about your experience and what you think about that, since I'm not experienced in District Wonders. So I guess that's it for this video. This one was not like the informative type of video I usually post. It's more like a thinking out loud kind of episode, but I hope you got something out of it. Thanks for watching as always, and see you later.